good. Are we all set to go then?
Yes.
In 3, 2. All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our first webinar for the year 2021. And we say 2021 with the numbers 2020 and the word one, like to win, because pandemic or no pandemic, we've already won this year. That's what we say. Whether you believe it or not, that's what we believe. So again, I would like to thank you guys for joining me. We are joined by Tiamo, our CIO at Conquete Holdings, and Riabetwe, who is our speculation teams manager. So briefly, before we can start, I just want the two gentlemen to explain what their roles are. What is a chief investment officer and what is a speculations team manager? Because I think I know what a chief investment officer is. It's kind of self-explanatory, but I want to hear it from the horse's mouth himself to tell us what the role is all about. So Tiamo, please, if you don't mind, sir, going first.
All right. In Conquete Holdings, we have different departments. So the investment department is where investment decisions are made, and where we discuss and reach conclusions that, okay, we're going to go into this investment, or we're not going to go into this investment, or we're going to liquidate this investment, but in consideration of the company's standing, financial standing. So we don't just decide that, okay, now we're gonna invest here or not. Now we need to appraise investment decisions and just make decisions based on economical reasoning.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So just so I get it straight, your responsibility is investments. You are responsible for where the money goes in terms of investing, which companies you invest in, which companies you de-invest in, if there's such a word, right? And all of that. So you handle all the money. So if anything was to go wrong, if you were to mess up somehow, we are basically screwed. So you are the guy that knows exactly what he's doing, right?
Not necessarily. The money guy is basically the financial officer, the chief financial officer, the CFO. So he is the one that decides, okay, this is the budget for this department, this is the budget for this department. From my budget, from the budget of the investment department, then I make the decisions. Okay, this money is going here, this money is going there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So the CFO allocates a budget for you, and then you have to be responsible to make sure that you use the funds in a way that is obviously going to generate more funds.
Yes, that's the goal.
Cool. All right. And Ria, dude? I don't think I've ever heard of a speculations team manager before. It's really it was the first time when I read the economic report that you guys released on the 31st that I saw a speculations team manager, and I was like, that's interesting. What is that? What is a speculations team manager? What do you do exactly?
So basically, I obviously speculate, right? So I speculate with my team where we think the markets are going to head in the next couple of months or a year. So then I work hand in hand with Tiamo, where we compile economic reports on a quarterly basis, and then we speculate, as is in my title. We speculate and thoroughly investigate like the happenings in the economy, what happened in the past year. So all in hindsight, I'm basically an economist, just beginning, and I'm an analyst, yes. So that's basically what it is. So yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that whole GameStop thing was quite fascinating for you to watch, wasn't it?
Very fascinating, man. Very fascinating. What the power of just millions of people, what they can do just in a matter of days. Because what happened on that day was very amazing, because I think GameStop, the share was at an all-time low, and obviously you know that companies shorted GameStop, thinking that it's going to fail. But then in the matter of days, the share price of GameStop increased by 700%, 700%. You know, and it's nothing like that I've ever seen in my entire economic life, which has only been a year. But yeah, it was just.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So you are in the trading department of the company.
Yes. Short-term investing, and yes.
Yeah. All right. And you guys collaborated and authored the economic report that you guys released on the 31st. Both of you wrote the report, right? Am I getting that correct?
Yes. I just have Tiamo is. Yeah.
Oh, so Tiamo is the lead author then. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Okay. And what is the purpose of the report exactly? Why decide to even release a report? Why? What is the process of the thing? What do you hope people to learn from reading the report?
When we report, the goal is not only just to inform on what actually happened, but also to share our perspective and our outlook on what we think is going to happen. And even though sometimes we are positive, but the goal is not to be optimistic. The goal is to be honest. So the more we do it, the more the public community knows what's going on in their country and know what where the economy is headed. So the ultimate goal of economic reporting is just to show citizens and the community where the economy is headed. That's why we like to say growing the global economy through the empowerment of people.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't, because someone told me I'm very optimistic the other day. I think I'm the last person you need when you are drafting a report like this, because I'm too much optimistic. I only want to look at the positive. You want to talk about the positive. And
yes. So we try our best to be as honest as possible. At the same time, we avoid inducing panic. We don't want to cause panic. Like when something bad is happening, yes, we address the negative thing that's happening. But at the same time, we also focus on looking for the good. Like where can, like that sort of like faith, that faith type of mindset that okay, we need to find something good that can grow, because when that small thing that's good grows, then ultimately the economy as a whole will grow.
Yeah, I think that's why my favorite part of the report is the Conquete outlook, and more specifically where you guys talk about how the World Bank has projected that the South African economy is going to grow by 3.3%. That for me was the favorite part. Obviously, it's positive. We want to see growth. We want to see the economy doing well, especially in a time like this when everything is seems to be going south. You want to have something to look forward to that that will uplift your spirits. So I think my favorite part. Obviously, the entire report is quite interesting and important, but I love the Conquete outlook of it, and how we are more optimistic about this year and the growth that we are anticipating. Other than that, Ria, do you have anything to add on, like, what is your contribution on the report?
My contribution was I looked at how easy or how it was for businesses to start up in 2020. So obviously because of the COVID restrictions, it was very hard for businesses to start up and to actually get the exposure that they wanted, because they couldn't interact with people. So it caused a lot of businesses to be at a halt until maybe the next year once the COVID lockdown restrictions were eased. But other than that, in all, it was just very, very difficult for companies to start up. And I myself wanted to start a company, but I couldn't do it because of the COVID restrictions. So it just explains in a paragraph how the economy, because we already know that the economy was already in junk status. So now, I don't want to be bleak here, but the COVID restrictions made it worse, and it further crippled the economy. So, if the economy is crippling, it's hard for businesses to get funds from banks because banks cannot give out loans easily. And yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. And yeah, at least now that that vaccine news are coming out, there's just a light at the end of the tunnel in terms of how, as you said, the World Bank projected. Yeah, so the World Bank projected that it'll grow by 3.3%, and that's because of they're speculating that because of the ease of the lockdown restrictions, it'll be much easier and more calm to start more businesses. So yeah, so there's always hope. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting that you said 2020 was a difficult year for businesses, and I think a lot of businesses, or not all of them, because some of them did strive like crazy. Like some businesses made crazy profits last year, but I would say like a majority of businesses did suffer. And it's quite ironic that Conquete Holdings and NAHANA were actually established last year. So I think even though the previous year was tough and challenging and all of that, still in the middle or in the midst of all of that chaos and uncertainty, you can still be able to start something or to come up with an idea and to implement it. You may not be able to implement it the way you would have without COVID restrictions and all of that. But whatever it is that you can do, even if it's just like the smallest thing, whatever you can do, just do it. You don't have to wait for the entire country to be vaccinated and all the restrictions to be lifted for you to start doing whatever you want to start doing. You can, whatever you have right now that you can work with, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to start working with. And that's the entire purpose of what NAHANA is and why this relationship with Conquete Holdings is so important. So yeah, the report. Let's talk about La Conquete. What is La Conquete?
Well, La Conquete is like well, in English it's the conquest. Like that's French for La Conquest. So conquest, sorry. So what it is in essence is an academy. It's basically where we teach potential employees to know their culture in Conquete Holdings, and also where you learn anything. Like most people, well, I got a lot of texts and I got a lot of people asking if this is a trading academy. Well, it's not really a trading academy. If it's open for trading and we need to get traders, then there will be training for trading.
Yeah. Hello? Okay, I think we've lost Tiamo a bit. Ria, do you have anything to add about La Conquete? You are a graduate. You are a graduate of La Conquete, isn't it?
Yes, I actually am a graduate. So what? Sorry.
How long did it take you to complete your course?
It took roughly about 3 months of them thoroughly grinding us, sweat, because we were all students, so it was quite difficult to like give the academy time as well as our schoolwork time. So what we underwent certain weekly training meetings where we go together as a team. Well, they're my team now, so they graduated as well. We meet up as a team weekly where we discuss the happenings of the market in the previous week and projecting where the market would go. So then we also learn certain trading strategies as well, and we also learn how to analyze and interpret certain like economic news. So, for example, when there are new important news releases in the USA, such as like expected jobs and versus unexpected jobs, we learned how to interpret that and how it would move the economy. So we underwent a lot of training and economic training. So yeah, and then we graduate at the end of the 3 months, and then if you're lucky enough, you become a part of the company.
Okay. I think maybe I should have led with this question, but what made you choose Conquete Holdings specifically? Like why this company and why this academy? What about it? What about it drew your attention to say, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to log onto their website and sign up and attend this 3 month course, which, as you said, they were drilling you. And if I understand the word drilling correctly, it's not fun.
Not fun at all.
It's not all pie strawberries, yeah. So why put yourself through all of that? What is it about the company that affected you?
Well, you know, I saw a lot of value in what the CEO Michael Sana. I saw a lot of value in what he was trying to build, and I saw that he's trying to build. He's trying to equip young people with the tools to succeed in these uncertain times in this economy. And because it was during the lockdown where I couldn't get a job, I couldn't go to Spar or anything to get a job. So the only way for me to make money, and that Conquete told me, was you could trade. You can learn how to use the economy and literally download money onto your phone and equip yourself for the future, because that's what we do, like download money on our phone.
I don't think I've heard it. Download onto your phone.
That's basically what
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's not really the money aspect that intrigued me, but it was the knowledge that I could gain and that they could equip me with to just to be a better man in South Africa, and be a part of something that's worthwhile, building. So that was the main thing.
And just okay. So let's talk about Michael for a minute. He's also on this call, by the way, everyone, but he's on the background, technical mic, making sure everything is running smoothly. Thank you so much, bro. Shout out to you. And I think you are waving wherever you are. He's because again, how we came to partner up. It was, I think that's a story for another day actually. But we were just talking, and he was telling me about Conquete Holdings, and and then I told him about NAHANA and what I wanted to accomplish with NAHANA. And I think the following day he came back to me and he was like, "Yo, I spoke to my partner, and we think your idea is great, and we want to partner up with you and see what we can do together." And I think that's another thing that made me want to partner up with you guys, because you are very big on partnership and collaboration, which really should be the language of the day or of today, collaboration and partnerships. Then to this thing of competing, yes, competition is healthy, and it makes you want to do better, but I think collaboration and partnerships are way more effective in terms of making sure that you accomplish the goal without really doing a lot of work, because NAHANA is doing part of what Conquete Holdings was going to do. But now you guys don't have to do that because you've partnered up with us, which is a really good thing. And yes, shout out to Michael. And again, NAHANA is kind of like my baby, but I'm literally doing this with him. His help has been amazing. And sometimes he does things, and I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? You really didn't have to do that. And for a CEO of a to be that invested in his project or in his employees or in his in all these departments and want to help. Like right now, he shouldn't be doing this, like literally being in the background, doing all the technical work, blah, blah, blah. And so, yes, Conquete Holdings is Conquete and NAHANA. I think that's what we are really all about. Like you said, we are about empowering people. We want to empower people. I want to see more titles like CIO next to a name like Riabedri, and more titles like CEO next to a name like Michael Kosana. And, you know, that's what we are trying to accomplish.
Yes.
I think that's what drew me to the company. That's literally what drew me to the company, the fact that we want to grow together.
Definitely.
For sure, 100% agree.
Yeah. Tiamo, you're back.
Yes, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm having network issues this side, but yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, no, your sound is not very good as well. I don't know. I think it's your network coverage. But so we were basically just talking about why Ria joined Conquete Holdings. I think I'm going to pose the same question to you because you joined the company a bit later on.
Yes.
So how did you come to join, and why did you join the company? And why should someone else as well want to join Conquete Holdings?
Okay, with me, Mike already knew that I was already trading and I was already working, and we just started talking about economics, and then, well, no, you can't still can't hear me.
Yeah, no, your sound very.
Your sound is not rude. Yeah.
Maybe I think you could try exit the conversation and enter again.
Yeah, and then come back. See if you can go and then come back. But in the meantime, no. I think you should go and then come back. See if you can go and come back. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so again, like I was saying, Wuti, like the aim really is to make sure that we grow the South African economy, and not just the South African economy, but the world economy at large. And obviously, it's going to start at a like in a small scale like this. It has to start with us. Are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. With me, I was saying like with me, it's different. So I was already working on my own, like trading and analyzing and doing that. And in that, I was also discussing with Mike. At that time, I didn't know that he had a vision of starting a company. Then he started talking to me about it. And then apparently it had already started, just not marketed or just not in the public yet. But the website was already there. He asked me to go check out the website. Started going there, reading. I'm like, yo, this is really a really great a vision and mission as well. And I would like to be a part of it. So we started talking about it, discussing it, and then well, he actually assessed my strengths as well. And then he put me up as CIO. But when I joined, I didn't join as CIO right there and there. I was head of trading. I was head of trading for like 6 months, and then beginning of December, that's when I was no, not 6 months, 3 months. Sorry, beginning December, that's when I was officially CIO and a director. Yeah. So, but the vision is really great. As I said earlier, it's just growing the global economy, not just the South African economy, the global economy through the empowerment of people. We like to empower human beings and just sharing the power. We want to the ultimate goal also is that we also want to get young entrepreneurs to actually get out of their box and then start moving. Don't wait for things to be in order. Nothing is ever in order in the introductory phase. Just start. All you need is a vision, and then move. Yes.
Okay, cool. And again, like you just said, just start, because there are companies out there that are willing to help, i.e., Conquete Holdings. Like that's really one example. The fact that there are companies out there that are willing to assist businesses that want to people that want to start businesses, or businesses that are already in operation, like to help you maintain operations. Even through times like this, because right now I don't know how many businesses have closed down, but quite a number of businesses have had to close down because obviously they couldn't operate properly. They ran out of funds, or like operations just were halted. So having companies like Conquete Holdings is really a good thing, and that's why we are doing this again, to inform people. Because I think another thing that's lacking in society is information, and like access to things that people need. For example, I think we were talking the other day about what small businesses in South Africa especially need. They don't necessarily need funds. They don't need funds. What they most need is resources and infrastructure. Because once you give like a small township business 500,000 to expand or to grow, without without teaching them how to do the books correctly, how to plan correctly, how to market correctly, and all those basic things, all that paperwork, they're just going to take that money and literally waste it. And I think that's one mistake that the government is making. It's taking money and giving these small businesses funds which they are not really ready for. And by doing that, you are really killing the business. So I would love for corporations and companies and government to focus more on the information and knowledge aspect of business, not just the money. Because once you know how to make money, once you know how to run your books, how to market, advertise, all of those things, then it's easy for you to make your own money. You don't need a handout from government or from other companies. You can then do it yourself. But it has to start with you getting the basics right, and the basics are the paperwork.
Yeah, and just to add to that, that's also a market gap that we also realized when Mike was talking to me about this. So the overall and most ultimate goal of Conquete Holdings is to invest in ventures, just provide funding. There was also, we saw that there's a market, there's a gap in the market, and there's also a market in that gap. So we want to fill that gap starting here in South Africa, that at some point in a few years' time, we start funding these small companies that you are talking about. And the nice thing about us investing in ventures is that we also provide the skill. We also provide the skill, whether it's through La Conquete or it's through putting the right people in the bus, helping with employment, helping with all the paperwork that you as a potential entrepreneur cannot get to. So we at some point we're going to help with that, and that takes us back to what Rea was talking about with regards to the overall ease of doing business in South Africa. He's right. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. At some point we were number 30 in the world with the overall ease of doing business. Last year we were at number 82. This year we are projected to be at number 84. So that's just instead of being easy and easier, as we are a developing country, as it should be easier, it's getting harder and harder and harder. That's because we don't that there's a market gap of venture capitalists. There aren't many funders out there, and people go back to what funding from the government, and the government does not actually help you with the things that I spoke about.
Yeah. Do you think it's because there aren't many investors and venture capitalists out there, or could it be that people just don't know where to go? Because last week we were just talking and discussing ideas on how to get funding, And I knew about angel investors, but the person I was speaking to, she explained what angel investors are like more broadly. So at the end of the conversation, I had more information and more knowledge about what angel investors are. And the person, like my brother who I was with, had no idea. Like he didn't even know they existed. And this is someone who really needs funding because he has a lot of ideas. Like there's a company that's already in operation that needs funds. He also has other ideas as well that will need funding, but he had no idea that there was such a thing as angel investors. And after that chat, he was like, WTF, you know, and which I think is really amazing. How many people do you think are aware that such a thing exists? That there is such a thing as a venture capitalist, and what is a venture capitalist? That there is such a thing as an angel investor, and what is an angel investor? Other than just going to the bank for a loan to get funding or going to government to get funding, what other ways are there for people to get funding? Do you think it's because there aren't enough, or is it because people just don't know about
them? There are many ways to get funding for a business. Yeah. It's just that it comes with things that they don't want. Like for instance, they don't want to give up ownership to get the funding. So that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's I think they call it the problem between entrepreneur and investor problem. There's a gap there because people don't want to give up ownership. You know, if you're thinking about, okay, this is a great idea, I need funding, but if the investor says, no, I want 40% because I'm going to be giving you all the resources, you know, so they don't want to get out. That's where the problem is. So and also there are other ways of getting funding through corporate debt. You know, corporate debt. One of my heroes, if I can put it like that, Robert Kiyosaki, he emphasizes on corporate debt, like he calls it good debt. You know, when you go into debt for a business just for it to grow, it's not your debt, it's the business debt. So people are afraid of going into debt because they are afraid of being liable. But the moment the company is incorporated, then that's the company's debt, not your debt. You're just the director. You are just making sure that debt is managed wisely, the funding is properly. So yeah, like I think that's the only way other than getting funding from angel investors or venture capitalists, corporate debt.
Okay. So then it all goes back to information, like how much of it people know, and how then can we get that information out there, and not just because right now the information is out there. I think it's a matter of just access.
Yeah.
How then do we make people? How do we then allow people to have access to all this information that we seem to have access to? You know, it could be because we went to school, or it could be because we're just curious and we like to go onto the internet and search for things like what is a venture capitalist. You know, so I think what's most important is that information spreading, to spread information and to emphasize on collaboration and partnership. That you don't necessarily have to do it by yourself. If you're not good at whatever aspect of your business that you that you need to operate, you can hire someone or partner up with someone who is good at that. If you need a photographer and you have a camera but you can't take nice pictures, there are photographers who can take nice pictures. You can collaborate with them and make like racks of money and racks profit and grow and, you know, accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish. So I think it's really a matter of just getting that information out there and making people conscious of what is really out there, other than just social media and, you know, going out and blah blah blah. All those things are fun and nice, but that can't be the bar or like the level that we are trying to reach or trying to live up to. We need to aim higher than that. It needs to be bigger than that. And if the vision is as big as NAHANA and Conquete is, you need to partner up with people. You can't do it by yourself. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for you to want to accomplish something this big by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like there's a question from the public, man. They're asking what is Conquete's perspective with corporate debt, as well as and especially in the American market, like American financial market, there's an increase in corporate debt. What's our perspective? Okay, that's a big question. Okay, here's what yeah. So our perspective is that corporate debt is increasing due to interest rates falling. As you know, in 2020, there was a continuous fall in interest rates. They were trying to make lending attractive. So the big players, the big corporations, may applied for corporate debt. Corporate debt is like bonds, bank loans, everything that has to do with lending funds, and then returning them later as a corporation, not from the household, but the corporations.
Yeah.
So our perspective is that is increasing exponentially, and that is also affecting the stock market. That is also affecting the stock market as they increase the corporate debt to expand, making buying their stock attractive. So we keep buying. And I don't know if you know if you can realize that there's a similarity of behavior in the global markets that's happening today, that happened in 1920, 1929, 1940, 1944, 1970 something, I can't remember, and 2000, 2001, and 2008. It's the very same repetitive behavior. There's more lending, more money supply, supplying and pumping money into the economy, and corporate debts skyrocketing. And the problem with this is that once the money supply stops, then it's going to cause investor panic. When it causes investor panic, investors start to pull out, and that's when we're going to experience a crash. And I don't know if you realize that there's a financial crash that happens every 10 to 20 years. The last time this happened was in 2008. We're at 2021, 10 to 20 years, and it's the same repetitive behavior over and over and over and over. So that's our perspective with the corporate debt. So the corporate debt is just it's just induced by the low interest rates.
Yeah, and one thing you might want to add, Tiamo, the last time that the Federal Reserve Bank actually cut the interest rate to zero was in 2008. So it's quite evident that it's similar, same behavior, and it might be like there actually might be a silent market crash currently going on. So we have to just look out.
Yeah. So when this happens, it's called an economic bubble. But an economic bubble is just the increase, the rapid increase in the price of an asset or a security. Let me put it like this: not an asset, of a security, and will definitely face an inevitable crash at some point, because the rate of growth is inevitable. It's really inevitable.
And Tiamo, when do you think this crash will happen?
When do you predict?
I really don't know. But this year, next year, now, I don't know. But everything is just being now.
But from an economist's point of view, what would you say? Like, I know it's not going to exactly happen on the day or on the date that you think it might happen, but just
let me get thing. I think it's already happening, especially with this stock saga that occurred. I feel like there are more sagas that are going to occur in the future, just in small events, not small, but small consecutive events, which will inevitably lead to the market crash. And so I think it's cliche to say, but it's the beginning of the end, I guess. If it's the right.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So yeah,
what would you
let us put economical reason to that. Yeah. Sam, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Guys?
Yeah. I can hear you. You can go ahead.
Go on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you, Ria. Tiam. Okay, Ria. I wanted to ask you because obviously you just said that the crash is already happening. So what would be your advice? Because obviously it's going to affect everyone. It won't affect everyone in the same way or equally. Some people would be much harder hit by it, and some people will feel it, but not not to that extent. So what will be your advice, especially with small businesses, with the crash that is currently happening? How would you say they should ride the wave, if you will? Because obviously after the crash, things are almost bound to go back up. So for them to survive up until that point where things start to pick up, what would you say they should try and do?
Small
Not
businesses.
do, but try.
Okay.
I would say that they should invest in crypto because I don't know, yes, I don't know if you've heard about Bitcoin rising, skyrocketing to all-time highs. And yes,
Elon Musk is yeah, okay,
yeah, and I don't want to say I don't want to sound like an adversary. Okay, you should go buy Bitcoin, buy crypto, Ethereum, but I'm just saying that invest in the future, because in the future everything I believe is going to run on crypto, and it's going to become everything is going to become universal. All the currencies are going to become universal. We're all going to start trading in Bitcoin, exchanging in Bitcoin. So I would say for companies is to, such as Elon Musk has evidently done, invest into crypto, because I believe that crypto will rise up to exponential heights. Because if I was to show you like Bitcoin on a graph, it would look like, I know you probably haven't seen the tan graph in years, but it looks like a tan graph, and a tan graph rises to infinity. Yeah, so yeah, it doesn't even look real, doesn't look stable. But yes, that's what I would. Yeah, so I would say to businesses, investing in Bitcoin, and try keep your business afloat with the profits from the Bitcoin and the crypto. Yes.
So you're saying,
okay. Yeah.
So like you're saying, if I have a small business, the risk is there, and you are right, the risk is there, and the crash is happening, whether I like it or not. I just need to be ready, and I just need to mitigate the risks of my losses. So in order for me to mitigate that risk, like you say, I should invest in crypto.
Yes, invest in crypto, so that once you find a rough patch, you can mitigate the problems with the profits from the crypto, which might you might only start reaping the profits like 2 years, 1 year down the line. But that's the way it is to invest. You have to long-term invest and be patient. So obviously there are other ways.
Yeah.
Obviously,
what I think we should do? You know what I think? Because the crypto topic is quite extensive, and we've been talking for quite some time. We will set up another webinar where we will be discussing cryptocurrency and how, because I'm pretty sure there are people watching right now who have small businesses but have never heard of cryptocurrency, or they've heard of cryptocurrency but they don't know how to invest.
They don't know how it works.
How do you even go about buying Bitcoin? Where do you buy Bitcoin? And what is Bitcoin mining? It's big. And also, on that one, I would also like to talk about gold versus Bitcoin, because that's currently
interesting.
Because gold is how we value our money. That's where the value of money is currently, right? The tangible money is backed by gold. So I want to talk about gold versus Bitcoin, because there are some Bitcoin skeptics who are like, but gold is better than Bitcoin, because gold is tangible, and gold has always been there. Like if there's anything that has always been there and is constantly rising in value, it's gold. So we're also going to tackle that, but that's going to be a topic for another day. I think we should wrap it up, gentlemen. Thank you so much. It's been quite a chat. Thank you. I think I've learned a lot, and I hope people watching as well took out something from this that they can apply into their lives and businesses more especially.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely do this again.
Great talking to you. Thanks, Sam, for having us.
Yeah. Thank you again, Michael, wherever you are, bro. I wish you could show your face so people can see you, but whatever. Hope you have a good one.
Okay, I think there's a question.
And
can we take this question?
Okay, which one? No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Someone is asking. How can I stay subscribed to your page and to stay tuned to these webinars? Okay. On behalf of Conquete Holdings, then you have to go to www.conqueteholdings.co.za. That's where you'll get. That's where you'll be able to subscribe to monthly newsletters, knowing what's going on about Conquete Holdings. Yeah.
And blogs as well. And all of that. Okay, cool. And I think the link to our website should be on the on YouTube under this video. Should be under this video, the link to our website. So you can just go into our website and subscribe, like Tiamo has said, and also follow us on Instagram. We're also on LinkedIn, Conquete Holdings. It's at Conquete_Holdings. Again, all of that will be included on YouTube for you to check the spelling and where to put your underscores and all of that. But please stay tuned and subscribe for more content, because we are going to be doing this again. The next webinar will be next Thursday, same time. Well, not same place, but same time, and not same people again. We'll have someone different. We'll be talking arts next week. So if you know anyone who is an artist or who wants to be involved in arts, and how artists are surviving, especially during this pandemic, because the pandemic has basically destroyed the entertainment industry. So we'll be discussing that next week. Same time, not same place and not same person, but definitely same time. And you can obviously, again, go into our website, secure your place. Also on our website, that's where you'll be able to see all our schedule for the next 4 weeks. So you will know who will be featuring the following week after next and all of that. So thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next week. Yeah, thanks. I'll see you next week. Siamon Riabet won't be here next week, but I'll be here next week, and Michael as well, I think, our technical director.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you, guys. All right.